Hello everyone, welcome to the day 3 of Microsoft Azure Learning Series. This is Lakshit Pant, your host for today, and we have Kartike Rawat here, who is a founder of Open Eco Community. He's a Azure developer lead and has been contributing a lot in the community, and he's doing a really incredible work in the field of community. He's also a GitHub Campus expert, and with Azure Developer Community, he has been contributing more than a year. And today he'll be discussing about precisely Azure databases and how databases work. In the developer journey, databases are the most important part if you are even hosting a portfolio website. Not if you are making a just a workflow outflow of a simple normal website, you need a database. Today, he will tell you how to connect your database and how the database with Azure could be efficient for you. So I won't take much of your time. Please let me hand over it to Kartike. Kartike, over to you.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks, Lakshit. That's a great introduction. And yeah, obviously we can do a small demo, obviously at the middle of the session. Let me share my screen first of all to be more precise. Just give me a moment. I guess. I guess my window is there. Let me share the. Yeah, I guess shareable.
Yeah, it's a okay.
Yep, I guess let me slideshow it.
Mm,
Just give me a moment. It's just a internet issue maybe from my side. Just give me a moment.
yeah, it's here. Yeah, it's here.
Yeah, great.
Perfect.
So yeah, hey folks, maybe we can start off. Um, yeah. So obviously today we will discuss about databases, and I'll even shared exactly everything about me, so I'm not going in that thing obviously. So yeah, let's deep dive into the main thing, what we are discussing about on that sense obviously. So yeah, so let's go to the maybe next slide. Yeah. So what is databases? Before going to any of the main thing key, like what is Azure databases? So firstly, let me introduce, even though if you are very new to this space or about database in general, so I will teach you that. And yeah, from the word database, if we talk about, basically, if we talk about database, it's a brokerage of two words, data and base, basically collecting data. And obviously it's a backbone of the modern computing. And basically my presentation is overall around how we can explore or use the power of databases and how to harness it for the business needs is in that sense. So yeah, let's go to the next thing. Yeah. So yeah, let's go to the maybe in a better way. Yeah, let's go to the fourth one. So there are two types of databases. There are majorly two main types of database, that is relational and non-relational. Relational database uses tables to store data, while non-relational database uses document, graphs, or key point pair, and any type of data apart from the table thing, if you will say. That's why we came over the SQL and NoSQL kind of database, or like in general about that. Yeah. So let's go more. So let's talk about what the database management system. So is obviously it basically a software manager. It's a software which basically manages database. So popular DBMS you can heard about Oracle database, Microsoft SQL Server, or in general MySQL is also one of the favorite in general. Like if you ever gone to the that side, cool. Yeah, let's talk about data modeling. So data modeling, obviously, it's a process to design a database schema. So when I say database schema, what is actually mean? It's actually mean how uh, a parameter of that particular, like suppose we have a data table where it contain name, roll number, you can say yeah, your address, your grades, kind of thing, in which each and every parameter have their own significance. For like suppose roll number is our primary key over that point. So how we connecting one database to another database in that format. So that basically when we say data modeling, in general modeling is basically the process of designing the whole thing. Okay. A good data model should ensure data accuracy, consistency, and integrity. That's obviously came under the point when we're talking about database in that journal. Cool. And let's talk about ERD and UML. And yeah, let's I will give you deep down into that. But let's talk about what is database optimization. So obviously, it's a process of improving database performance. So what we can do for that, we can some other techniques like indexing, sharding, and caching. We are not going in that in a very more in-depth format, obviously, in this talk, because I majorly talk about this Azure database services over that point. But the proper optimization can greatly improve query response times and overall system performance. So obviously, optimization from the word it just so how we can improve the database performance, or we can say like reducing the sum of the data so that it did not affect the whole part of the whole database managing system, if I will say in that format. Cool. So what are the conclusion in this that we are trying out? So database are critical component of modern computing, and by understanding their power types and management system and how we basically designing their schema and optimizing in their on the basis of their techniques to use in a more potential way, right? So now let's talk about actually what is Azure Database. So my major concern over this, or like in that format, obviously, like everything is in cloud. I hope so you are going with us one by one or day by day in the database is going on. I know first will be I will give you
I guess, guys, there is an issue, internet issue at Kartike's end. Yeah, I have seen. Guys, let's we. I have asked Kartike to rejoin and so that his voice can't be lagged. Just allow us some minutes, and I hope you guys all are enjoying the quizzes that we organize in our daily Discord channel. And if you can see, I have pasted the link again in the chat box. You can just copy this tag is a parameter bit.ly backslash is a Discord, and you can paste it in the URL bar of your browser, and you can join the JWP community Discord server. There we organize regular quiz, and you can win multiple Microsoft merchandise. And I just want to highlight this one point that it will take approximately 30 to 45 days to get ship your swags. So I recommend you guys to please be like to support us for the same. We will be shipping your swags very soon if you wins. And yeah, and Kartike is joining in just 2 minutes. Other than that, if anyone has any issue till here, like in Azure or anything in yesterday's session or maybe in day before yesterday's session, let me know around Azure. I'd be very happy to answer queries around Azure. Okay, and also I have some couple of things to share. Maybe if anyone wants to explore more about uh, clouds, there is something called Cloud CLX, and I'll quickly share it with you guys. That will be very helpful if you are new to the cloud and you can explore the Cloud CLX part. So I'm just sharing the link in the comment section. This is by Microsoft, and you can also get benefited because there are lots of Microsoft exams that are being covered by this CLX program. Here you get here you get practice exams. Here you get free practice exams, basically 50% discounted vouchers. And if you're a student, not need any discount. Obviously, Every 900 exam is free of cost for every student. You just need to verify your student ID with Microsoft account, and that's it. You are done. You can apply, you can participate at any of the 900 exam. That is basically all 900 exam falls in the fundamentals category. Whether it's AZ 900 would be a good start, that is Azure fundamental. Then it comes AI 900, that is artificial intelligence fundamentals. Then there are some more you know pathways like DP fundamentals, that is data fundamentals. There it comes PL fund 900. What does PL 900 means? It's Power Platform Fundamentals. So if you want to explore no code platform, then Power Platform Fundamentals could be a really good choice. We have seen that those Power BI dashboards, those power automating things like the direct automation of emails, everything is done with the help of Power BI or Power Platforms. So that can be a really good choice to opt. And also then there are multiple things like SC fundamentals, SC 900. SC 900 is basically security fundamentals. So you can explore all these certificates in the link I have shared. It's in the comment section, and here you get practice exams for free. Okay, Karthikeya is here. Over to you, Karthikeya. Yeah, okay. So, and if anyone has any doubt regarding this, you can anytime ask us in the comment section. We would be very happy to, you know, help your doubts in our Discord channel. So the Discord channel is always open. You can ask your doubts. Also, if you want to review your, if you want us to review your LinkedIn, maybe your resume, maybe review your GitHub profile, you can anytime paste it in the Discord server. Our experts are there. Even sometimes us, if we get time, we will try to organize some cram sessions so that your doubts or your maybe LinkedIn profile optimization, your resume optimization can be solved, and we will definitely help you out to build a good resume as well as to build a good strong LinkedIn profile for sure. And yeah, and I have heard about, and some of you have messaged me on LinkedIn as well about the attendance thing. So during this 7 days, what we can say, during the 7 day series, we will be picking up a random time slot in three times. We'll be picking random three or maybe two times. We'll be picking random time slot on which we'll be taking the attendance. We'll be circulating the attendance form for 5 minutes, and this is how we'll. And this is for Chandigarh University folks. Okay. Okay, yeah, and this is for only Chandigarh University folks. Those who are joining do not need to fill out the attendance form. We will be randomly sending the attendance form any day. Maybe it can be today, maybe it can be tomorrow as well. So you can fill that form. The form will remain open for maximum 5 to 10 minutes. That's it. And I'm waiting for Karthike. It seems like he is facing some internet issues. Till then, I can just share you some more couple of resources that can be helpful for you in terms of exploring the cloud domain, obviously. And so, just give me a moment. Yes, so this is the most, this is one of the most important tool that I personally use. So Wiz Labs and Code Cloud are free for this week. So if you want along, because you are already getting some these free sessions. Also, Code Cloud is free this month. Okay, Code Cloud is free this week, not this month, this week. So it is one of the platform that has really good content. You can play some labs, you can practice for some sessions, as well as you can give some practice exams. You can watch some cram sessions around Microsoft Azure or whatever you want to learn. So this is one of the very good platform that you should explore, I should say. And then there is this ultimate tool with Microsoft, that is Microsoft Learn. Okay, so if you will see that there is Microsoft Learn website where you can explore your Ratnesh, there is no attendance criteria for the students who are other than from who are from different college. So Devans, that's a good question. So what is DevOps? Most of the people made it very confusing, as I can see in the market. They have inferred DevOps something like maybe maybe it's a next domain or so. कई लोगों ने इसको बहुत ज़्यादा exaggerate कर दिया, I should say. But DevOps is nothing but a practice. Maybe, you know, if just take an example, if you want to go, you know, if you want to go from Mumbai, if you want to go from Jammu to Kanyakumari, or maybe Kanyakumari to Jammu, okay, then then there can be multiple ways, right? There can, you can, the best way is to go with flight, right? But if you are, you know, if you are mismanaged and you are not able to manage everything, then you will go first to Mumbai, then you, if you don't know the way to how to reach there. So DevOps is used basically for structuring the organization workflow. Suppose if you are working in any project, instead of wasting your time in some random things, in some random features, and instead of wasting your time in some random bugs, what you can do is you can just structureize the process. It is the sum of developer plus operations. Now what does these two words means? So there is this one guy developer who will be coding, and there is this operational guy. Now when I say operation, it is not something like you will be, you know, he's not a printer guy, or maybe he's not a, maybe, you know, he's not a table guy. The operation part will be something like code developer will be developing the features. Operation guy will be pushing that feature to the main branch, or maybe pushing that feature to a publicizing that free feature. So this is how it works. So it usually works in a larger environment, and DevOps can be, you know, it's not a domain for every. So this is very much important line when I say this. DevOps can differ in every aspect. You know, for every organization the definition of DevOps differ. Suppose if you are in any company, if you are in startup, if you are in a MNC, if you are in a product base, if you are in a fintech, for every company the DevOps work will be different. Okay, I'm not saying the tools will be different. Tools can be anyone. So okay, it totally depends on the company culture and the organization culture कि वो कौन सा tool opt कर रहे हैं. I'm saying the DevOps is simply domain unspecified. Why? A DevOps guy can be someone who will be working on networking side. A DevOps guy can be someone who will be working on maybe code side. A DevOps guy can be someone who will be working on the infrastructure side. A DevOps guy could be someone who will be working on the architecture side of the cloud environment. So DevOps is not like you have to, you are very specific to one thing that you need to hard code this, right? As so if I have to give an example, maybe you can take it like this. Like it's not like you need to 100% code every time. DevOps guy not need to code every time, but DevOps guy usually writes some basic scripting things. So what does these script means? Instead of doing some random, you know, multiple clicks, suppose I have to push 1,000 line of code. Now if I have to push 1,000 line of code 5 times a week, I won't be doing it manually, you know, by the mouse clicks. I'll be making a script. I'll be making a maybe YAML script by which it will automatically differentiate, it will automatically push the code. Yes, exactly. DevOps is very different. It differs from organization to organization. It differs in the culture perspective. Okay, so this is what DevOps means. Okay, so Karthik is here. Okay, Manish, attendance criteria will be you need to we will be sharing during the 7 day boot camp. We will be sharing 2 times the attendance form, and we randomly, maybe it can be today, maybe it can be tomorrow, okay, or maybe it can be day after tomorrow, or maybe it can be on the last day as well. So you need to fill that Google form that time. Okay, this is how it works. So Karthik is here. Over to you, Karthik. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really, really, really sorry, folks. I'm really sorry, folks, for that thing. I didn't know how, like, yeah. So let's get started again. I'm really sorry for that.
No issues. Maybe, yeah, maybe these technical glitches are unpredictable, so no one can. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I guess let me share again. I guess it'll be better. Just give me a moment.
Sure. And if anyone has any other question, please do drop your questions in between in the comment section. Kartike will be, taking all the questions at the last, and you can ask your questions to Kartike, and he'll be covering all the questions at the last. Because it will be very difficult to switch in the tabs in between, right? I have
Sure.
been through the
Yeah.
situation.
Just give me a moment, folks. Don't know why I'm not able to share the screen here. Just give me a moment. I guess. Yeah. Now I guess it's shareable. Let me share the screen.
Yeah, Kartike, it's here.
Yeah, cool, great. Really sorry, folks, for what happened. Actually, it's just you can say just my internet glitch. You can say I'm really sorry for that. And yeah, as we're talking about, let me get back to the what we are basically talking about, Azure database and what database actually offering. So for now, Azure database offers obviously different multiple options. For us, Azure SQL database, Azure database for MySQL, Azure database for Postgres. Like these are some of the major layers, if you will say. Cool. And how we can basically do in a more better way, like I obviously gave a demo over that thing, how we can do that. So yeah, till then, let's go to the more depth part of it. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. So scaling Azure database. So scaling Azure can be done vertically and horizontally. That what the meaning of vertical and horizontal? It means vertical scaling involves the increasing the resource allocation to a single database, or while horizontal scaling involves basically distributing the data across a multiple database. So both methods have their own disadvantage. On obviously totally depends on, if you have a very small scale project, what you can do, you can do a vertical scaling. And if you are a very bigger project, you can say a different microservices on, and you have a different databases over that point, then I will prefer you can use horizontal scaling. That will obviously help. So again, each and everyone have advantage and disadvantage on the both side. So yeah, let's go to the next one. So the major thing that we are crossing here is performance tuning. To optimize the performance in Azure Database, it's very important to consider factors such as indexing, parsing, and query optimization. Here we will go to the query optimization. Obviously, how we can basically do that, or proper indexing can improve query performance, while partition can help distribute the data evenly and improve the query execution time. Query optimization involves analyzing the query execution plan or making the adjustment to improve the performance, basically. Cool. And yeah, high availability and disaster recovery. So obviously, high availability and are basically critical for mission critical applications. So such as like Azure Database provide built-in high availability with automatic failover. What is the meaning of it? Is like, suppose there is any disaster happened, maybe a volcano erupted, and over that point, maybe your project's obviously deployed over on that space. So what actually Azure have a better understanding over that, they have an interconnection or interpolability with different servers of different regions. So it is very easy to translate your project to one a region to another region. And that's why geo replication for disaster recovery, it is important to understand the capability and the limitation of these features and plan accordingly, obviously. So the major part is behind that only, if you will say. So let's talk about what is Azure CosmoDB. That's really important. So if I will talk about majorly on Azure CosmoDB, so basically it is a globally distributed multimodal database service. It basically I will explain each and every aspect behind that, obviously simultaneously. And what is the meaning behind it? It's just like connection between, because generally what happened when we talk about you can say CosmoDB in general, on that sense, what actually happened, you can basically connect database on cloud, obviously, where suppose you have a data maybe on the local, on your local system, and simultaneously you want to basically use those database that is your locally, to provide them to the global users, that may be someone in maybe America or in the Europe, you will say, on that consideration. So Azure CosmoDB database is basically a multi-model database. We will go in depth of each and every service if we'll talk about. So you can elastically and independently scale throughout the storage across any number of Azure region worldwide. That what I say in the previous slide, that in case if anything happened wrong with those servers, they are interoperability with the different servers of different region, if we will talk about, right? So that's a thing. And you can take advantage of fast and single digit millisecond data access by using one of the several popular APIs. Like it's a the if you go to the portal of Azure, you can get an access to that basically, obviously, simultaneously. And Azure CosmoDB provides a comprehensive level service level agreement for throughout the latency, if we'll talk about, and consistency guaranteed. So what if you go to the image of the whole thing, like if you will go this one. So what actually we are doing, there's in middle there is a Azure CosmoDB database, and where what we, if we talk about just like on terms of API point of view, how they are taking some of the students and they take some data from they are a connection between the data, and online course and catalog will offer over that period of time, obviously. Yeah. So that's basically an Azure CosmoDB it's majorly consist of, and how you can mobilize it. So yeah, so majorly the thing is how basically developer make a frequent updates if there's any developer who are basically building any application over that point, and how they basically use in that format so that it can enhance more or less over that point. So yeah. Now the second point that what I want to share it here, like how it make it more accessible to. So yeah, when we talk Azure SQL database, like people like pronounces SQL as SQL, like generally the SQL, max of people pronounce in a SQL format. So that's it kind of on that sense. But yeah, more or less if we go in depth, so what is actually Azure SQL database? So it's a relational based database. Obviously, what is relational based database, which have a tables, obviously, and based on the latest table version of obviously Microsoft SQL Server. So it is a high performance, reliable, and fully managed secure database. You can use it to build data driven applications and website in programming language of your choice without needing to manage the infrastructure. It is already done by the Azure. If we talk about, you can create a high available, high performance data storage layer also for basically application and solution in Azure. And SQL database can be a right choice for the variety of modern cloud application. Why? Because it let you process both relational database and non-relational structures or database, if you will talk about, such as graph, JSON, Spatile, XML, right? Now, let's talk about the migration. If suppose you want to migrate from one database to another database, or like data migration, if you talk, so for that also Azure SQL database is also helping in that way. You can migrate your existing SQL Server database with minimal downtime by using Azure Database Migration Services. It basically generate assessment report that provides a recommendation to help guide you through required changes prior to the performing a migration. After you access and resolve any recommendations, so if you'll talk about, so if we take a consideration here, right? So let me go to the laser point. It will be better for you to understand. Yep. So if you see here basically, so what actually happening here, so if in the database suppose there is a personal manager information, certification details, transcript, and study material, these are the different tables in one database, if we talk about, and we have to migrate from one place to another, or maybe on other service, if we talk about. So it basically what it actually after you access and resolve any remediation here, you are ready to begin a migration process. And Azure Database Migration Services performs all of the required steps. You will just change the connection string in your apps basically. Now let's create how to create an SQL database. So obviously for that, let's go to the, you can say, the portal.azure. That will be better, I guess. So I am opening the same thing. So for that, for you all, I created one database here so that it will be easy for you to understand. Till then it's opening. Let me check, is there any, yeah, let it's opening or not. So let me check it's opening or not. Let me check why it's still not opening, folks. Just give me a moment. Let me check why it's still not opening. Let me refresh this thing. I don't know actually why it's happening so. So let me set up this thing. Let me go back to the portal. Let me open the same thing. That will make it better. It's loading. And sorry, folks, for the I don't know why it's still loading on that sense. Yeah. Yep, I guess it is in the cool. Yeah, so I guess we did that. Um, yeah, so let's go to the, so what we have to do initially here. So we obviously have to go to, you can say, even though I already created this thing, but let's create another one if you will say. Let's go to the create resource. Like I just want to show you how you can basically, you basically build your own database if you will say. Just go to the resources. Don't know why it's taking so much time. Yeah. Yeah, great. So let's in the search box. Okay, let's ignore this. Yeah, so let in this one, let's go to the, you can say, the search it database, and this database. I guess that's enough to understand. Or it's too better to go here. Yeah, just in the category one. Yeah, and in here, go to the SQL database. If I will say, yeah, still it loading. Let me go it again. I don't know why it's happening. Cool. So it is in the subscription. It will say, let's create the new resource group for us to understand in a better way. Or yeah. So if you go to the select resource group, we have this one. Cool. Let's create a database. Maybe the database Azure. I guess that will be better. Yeah. Yeah. For this one, let's create a new server. That will be better to us to understand what we have here, what we are doing actually. And yeah. So it's loading. Cool. So let's give a name in a form of so that it is better to us to understand. You can say, yep. So for that, basically, what we have to do, let's name some server name if you will talk about. Cool. So for that, what we have to do, maybe write SQL Server, maybe Azure. I guess that will be fine. Let me check. Maybe 111. Cool. I guess it will be better for us. And let's go to the use SQL authentication for it is better for us to understand, right? And for that, what we have to do, let me name it in a form of SQL user. That will be better. Let's do write a password to this. Password can be okay. So cool. So let's write same thing here. I guess it is confirming. So let's make it. Let's create a server here. So cool. So I guess it is done here. Cool. Everything is fine, I guess, for here for now, right? It's more general purpose, and let's go to the networking section. Cool. So make it like a public endpoint. It will be better. Cool. And other thing is as it is. I guess we didn't have to change anything. Cool. Let's go to the security. Not now. Obviously, we are not going for the basically window Microsoft Defender for that. Cool. Let's go to near. Let's go to the additional settings. Cool. Make it a sample because we they have a yes. Do you want to continue? So yep, we have a sample data that basically I already knew that. So let's go to the next one, and let's next. Cool. And let's create. It's validating. I guess maybe its deployment is started. You can see initializing deployment is already started here. So cool. Fail to submit. Why it is happened? Let me create again. Maybe it can be sometime it possible due to the internet thing. And sorry folks for here as like my internet connection is a bit low here. Let's start again for the initial deployment. In case it didn't happen, no worries. I already deployed one already for you. It is better for you to understand what we are doing here. Like, let's see. So yeah, I guess deployment is in the process. Hopefully it will happen. I guess that's what I'm assuming. Let's see. Yeah, I guess we are in the process for that. Yeah. So deployment is in the progress. Obviously, it will take around you can say 5 to 10 minutes or like max to max 5 minutes. So as it, I think so. My internet is a bit slow, and obviously I'm on the StreamYard, so that why I can be mismanage over that point. But I guess as it is accepted from the main, basically what we are building off. Let's wait till it happen. After it happened, we have to go to the resources over that point. Let's check it out, how it went. Cool. Let's check it out, folks. Uh, Obviously, deployment is in the process. It will take around 5 to 10 minutes. We are waiting for that only, how it went. If you want to check out, you can go to the, I guess it is in the process mode. Yep. Just almost there. We are almost there because the servers are created from this side. I guess the opportunities are also here. Cool. As we got accepted here also simultaneously. Let's wait. Let's wait. It is on the final take, I guess. Yep. Let's see. Waiting for the same, hoping to get it allowed. Let's see. I don't know why it is taking so much time here. Let's check it out. Status created, but like why it is taking so much time? Yeah, so we created a deployment. As you see, the deployment is complete. Let's go to the resources part. Cool. I guess it's opening. So loading the database information. Let's go to here. Cool. I guess it's here. All things are here. So let's go to set server firewall settings. So because we have to set up over that point. So yeah. After that, we will test the basically the database. How we will test, like basically use a simple query over that point. And yes, let's see. Still it's loading, I guess. I'm really sorry, folks. It's my, I guess, internet. Obviously, I'm assuming. Okay, I guess here, and as we see, there's already let us add basically firewall rules, and let's save this thing because the obviously this is the basically IPv4. So I guess we are updated that thing, and yeah, let's go back to the main thing, and let's go to the query editor just to basically to get access of you can say that part. And as you know, I set up one thing, you can say an SQL server, that point. So yeah, for here, just we have to pass out a password that is, let's check. Yeah, so we are in the right now. We access the basically the query. Obviously, we access the, you can say, main table. So if you search around in the here, so this is a proper table. If you will see, right? So if you basically expand it in that term, so let me expand it here. And right now, what I will explain you around, like we take two tables, that is, you can the sales LT product category and sales LT product. So for that, what do we have to do? Obviously, I have one. You can say in that sense, obviously, I have one query for that, obviously, and how to do that is the very simple, but to understand it in a more better way, let's expand the. Let me go here. Yep. So first of all let's l- write a simple like simple query, that is select. And what we have to select, obviously the top 20 for that PC. I'm not this PC obviously. PC dot. So here what obviously we will take the basically the name of it, name as category name, you can say. Now, what kind of category? That's important. So category name, and after that, I'm really sorry for this. I hope so. So let's write the category name, I guess. Right? And after that, let's write p dot name, okay, as product name. Obviously, that's the name I will product name. Right? From which table? So from sales LT product category, right? Sales LT. So let's first of all let's write, that will be better. Sales LT product category, right? This is the we are taking, and just give us a space, you can say, right? Let's clear this thing. I guess I added double time. That's what happened. PC, right? And let's write join. Now I have to join the table. Which table, if you will say? I have to join this product one basically. So sales, not this obviously. Sales LT product. P, obviously because I name in that format obviously. Then again P, and on PC dot, right, PC dot product. Okay, so here we have to be very specific because we are going with the product ID obviously simultaneously. So product category ID obviously. So how to do that in that format? So if I will just, obviously I'm not going in the table thing obviously here, I need that part obviously. So PC dot category ID, yep, is equal to p dot product category ID. That's what I want to equate here. Product category ID. I hope so it's correct. Otherwise, like I have to re-edit the name of the tables because I did basically on that basis. So let's see. So here it is showing error. Let's check why it is happening. Product P. So let me. It will be better, I guess, if I will remove these brackets. I will say. Let's remove this one. Cool. I guess we create in this format, and let me run again this thing. Let's see. Okay, got it. The reason I am seeing it's the G, I guess, and again here double G. Sorry, I that's why it's always ruined the whole thing, I guess. Let's see. Yeah. So I guess yeah, we got the data. I'm really sorry for that, obviously, folks. So we got the whole data, and this obviously we can access the different tables on the simultaneous manner, obviously, right? And if you will go to the deep kind of down here, so you can check. It's like query succeeded with obviously 1 second, and yeah, that's what major thing that I have to show you here, right? Cool. So let's go back to the maybe the table, if I will say, or like the you can say. So let's we created a SQL, right? Now let's do the main thing, how to explore database for MySQL. So obviously, as I already shared, it's a relation database service in the cloud and based on the MySQL community edition. MySQL obviously is the server, and basically we use SQL to basically to access those server of with different thing. With that, you have a 99.9% availability service level agreement over that point on a simultaneous manner, right? And with that, obviously, we can go with it. We have a 99.9% availability service level agreement. So, which is basically managed by the whole thing is managed by the Microsoft Azure, obviously simultaneously, and you don't have to keep run an app 24/7. With every Azure database for MySQL server, you take advantage of built-in security, fault tolerance, and data protection that you would otherwise you have to buy or design something like that, right? So let's go to the next one. Azure Database for MySQL, what it delivers, it built-in high availability with no additional cost, predictable performance, and inclusive pay-as-you-go pricing. Scale is needed within second. Ability to protect sensitive data at rest in motion and automatic backups. Enterprise grade security compliance is also there, so it will be better for you to understand that. Now, how you basically create or manage that stuff, that's really important, right? I think so. It's a little bit dim here, so let me put on some make it like a more on a better way. Cool. So create, connect, and manage. So yeah, so basically the CLI, Azure portal, and custom management app is both an inclusive behind that. And simultaneously, how you're using MySQL server to attain that, that's basically what Azure gives you power over that. MySQL client and MySQL client is basically already added on the Azure database service over that point, and you can use it in that manner. Cool. And yeah, explore Azure Database for Postgres SQL. Obviously, those who don't know what is Postgres, so it's basically is again a relation-based database service in the cloud, and obviously it's based on the community version of open source Postgres database engine. You can obviously use then your familiarity with tool and enterprise with the Postgres SQL is applicable when you are using Azure Database for Postgres. So it's again it have a two deployment option. One is single server, and second is hyperscale, that is what we call Citus, basically, right? And I'm not going into in depth of each and every part of it. And Azure SQL manage the instance in is a scalable cloud data service. It provides and broadcast basically the SQL Server database as a service. And depending on your scenario, Azure SQL managed instances might offer more option for your database need, obviously. Again, simultaneous the migration process, how it basically migration process flow work. Obviously a step, I'm not going with the step-by-step guide, but what actually discover, it will access it. After that, it migrates the data if you want to migrate, and cut over data if you want to basically change the, you can say, analytics part of it if you want to use those data, and optimize in that format. So obviously a migration process workflow that I want to share, how a database or how in general database migrate from one system to another, how it basically works over that point. Cool. There's some tools basically where I guess you can use. Obviously, Azure Synapse Analytics is a limitless analytics service that brings together enterprise data, warehousing, a big data analytics. So you can basically you can query your data on your terms by using either serverless or provisioned resource at scale. You have unified experience at ingest. prepare, manage, and serve the data for immediate business intelligence and machine learning needs. Second tool is Azure SG Insight. So it's a fully managed open source analytics service for enterprise. It's just for enterprise. If you ever use Apache Spark or Apache Hadoop, Apache Kafka, Apache. So basically, these are some clusters that use in this framework properly, and it's also support the broad range of scenarios such as extraction, transformation, and loading. That is ETL, data warehousing, machine learning, and IoT based stuff also simultaneously. Cool. Now, next one is data Azure Databricks. So it's I guess hope so. Those who are into machine learning stuff, they already know this tool. But like those who didn't know, it helps you to unlock the insight from all the data and build AI solutions behind that. You can set up a Apache Spark environment in minutes. Like it's a very quick manner. And Azure Database support Python, Scala, R, Java, and SQL, as well as the data science framework libraries including TensorFlow, PyTorch, and Scikit-learn. Obviously, TensorFlow PyTorch is very popular right now. Not Scikit-learn as what yeah you can say on that manner. Now the next one is Azure Data Lake Analytics. So Azure Data Lake Analytics is on demand analytics job service that simplifies the big data instead of deploying or configuring tuning hardware. So you can write the queries to transform your data and extract valuable insights. The analytics service maybe in terms of basically it handle the job of any scale instantly by setting the dial for how much power you need, and you only pay for a job and it's running, make it more cost effective. It's kind of a serverless system, if you will say. Yeah. Now, what is the conclusion behind it? Even though I explain in a more broader way. So optimizing performance scalability is Azure Database requires a deep understanding of various offerings, scaling option, performance tuning techniques, high availability, disaster recovery features by following best practices and making informed decisions, and that's what basically do. So I hope so. You loved the talk. I really sorry if what happened in between due to the internet issue, but what my main concern is to basically to provide, I guess, the gaps to get in blend of that what I want to teach you. And this is my handle Carry Cool Dude. If you want to follow me, you can, and if you want to have any query, you can reach out to me on the socials. I'm up for it. And yeah, I guess for me it's over. Let me go back to the I guess the system over that point that will help you in that term. And let me check. I'm really sorry for what happened in between slept. So so just give me a moment till then. And yep, and really sorry folks for what happened in between. I as of now, could you share more info about, like, I guess it's I guess you already a time and place obviously, but thanks for joining folks. And if you want have any queries regarding anything, you can approach me on my handles obviously. And we will see you soon in the next meetup, I guess. Yeah, thank you and see ya folks. Bye bye and take care. Yeah.